Yeah, big welcome to you, my dear Virgo. Today is your new moon. That means we see behind the sun and the moon the constellation Virgo. And that's why we don't see the moon, because it's covered. And this is a very special and auspicious day because you are able to plant a seed. And that seed that you plant today will be growing into the full moon again. And so today the reading is to the left, right? Because it's a soul energy. The sun and the new moon, both in your sign, means that you have come home. And this moment is really important. And then you go out again to Pisces, which is the furthest out that you can go. And then you get again from Pisces the light for your full moon in 6 months. So here we have Salvador Dali's tarot that I gave to you, my dear Virgo. And this is here Luca Pacioli. And Luca Pacioli is a Renaissance scholar. He was a mathematical genius. And he was also the inventor of modern bookkeeping. At the same time, he showed Leonardo da Vinci how to paint in perspective or with depth, right? And in that, he showed him how to do the proportions right, so it feels that there is depth in a painting. And so Salvador Dali picked him for you as the Hermit because you are the completion. You're the number 9. You have arrived, right? After you, it begins again, all the numbers, right? It's a 10, but with a 0. So it's again a 1. And then the 11 is the 2, etc. And so the numbers are always between 1 and 9, plus, of course, the 0. So here you are, ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is the information that can come to you really quickly, really like there you have that information from a higher perspective, and you see how he placed this jewelry above your head. If I turn the card in your lantern, is an embryo, is always that new state of consciousness that you are giving birth to. Right? And so the 6th house of health, your body part is the digestive tract. So it's very important what you're eating and how you're eating it, but also how you digest not just food, but also how you digest your mental input, what you put into your brain, right? So just be really careful with that. In the yoga position, I gave you mountain pose. You back up in the mountain, very simple, with the hands in Namaste. Here is past and future coming together in the cosmic egg. You are the cosmic tantric union deep within yourself. That's why you able to be alone up in the mountains, and you see above the sign of Mercury, right? And you have taken the path and will take it again and again. And so that's kind of like the information today, because sun and moon are both in your sign. There is no opposite pulled from any other card. It's just you, right? You get the light and you get the dark. And so you are today in the duality that is happening always in your lantern. The hexagram, the triangle is pointing up, which is the fire, and the triangle is pointing down, which is the water. And so there comes masculine and feminine together. So that to Salvador Dali's, Luca Pacioli's personality, right? So just that you know. And then for your court card, he gave you the Caballero de Oros. And interesting enough, you got here a white horse with one leg up. Now, Pisces, which is opposite of you, that's when you get your full moon, also has a white horse and puts his leg up, right? Very interesting that he gave that to you. And here you have ideas exploding above you. and you are facing the left. You are going your last step to a soul connection, right? That's what I feel. It's like we're going deep, deep inside, because to the soul is left, and to the human, the out, to the full moon, we go to the right, right? And now we're going to the new moon, and that's why I'm going to do the reading today to the left. Usually you get a black horse that is facing right, and it's just very interesting how you can see that the different perspectives some of these old traditions have placed right on the cards. And so it's different schools, different ways of interpreting what's speaking here. Is your birthday between August 13 and September 11, then is this your court card? If not, please look in the description below. I have listed all of them there, with, of course, then the cards that I'm using today. Back to the last reading where you had Leo Sun giving Virgo Moon the light. The message was, next month's Virgo new moon is bringing you deep within. You had the 7 of Swords and you had the 3 of Swords. So that's 10 swords, right? And that's a new cycle. And you have you here in the 9 of Earth. And you can see that you are praying, that something you are looking at, there is a painful situation in your heart. It's stuck in your heart and you are in a discord. And the 10 though is then the liberation. So let's see what's coming through today, because now there is no one pushing you or being in your way. And I'm just going to pick one more card, which is the Lifruma Healing Oracle. Here we have the rune alphabet embedded in the tarot deck. And this is my newest purchase. And I really love it. They're very mystical and they're very interesting. And this card comes up on the position of the 20. 20 is the call, is what's speaking to you, right? What's the message today on this auspicious moment, right? Sun and new moon both in your sign. And so the message is anew. The number 13, look at that. So the 1, the magician, the 3, the empress. That's then together the biggest transformation that comes through, right? Magic gives birth to just about anything, but first you have to transform, you have to give birth, you have to die, you have to let yourself go, and then comes the 4 out of the 13. And we see that then new things can grow, new things can be developed, right? And so with the Judgment from Salvador Dali above, right, the 13 and the 20 is then a 33. And the 33 then is a portal. Here is giving you the 3-3 portal, a sign that you really got to listen to what's coming down in this new moon to you, because it's really important. This is the call. This is the angel calling you, and you have the butterflies, you have the transformation, right, of the call of the last judgment. You also see here 2 faces, and it's just clear that something strong is wanting to come to you, because we have immediately a 33 portal, right? And I don't calculate that together to a 6. I leave that portal. So you can, of course, stop the video and enlarge it and read it yourself and really go into the message. And you see the egg, right? You see that I painted you in this cosmic egg. And now the writing is in the cosmic egg. So the message is already coming here through this card. The magical 13 rune of the mystical Jew. Consciousness hooked in and plugged in to the seat of your soul, to be life on earth, seated and eternal, the inner wood of dew may root, yet fortifying from within a new stem, plumbs the trunk back up, ancient witness of hidden sacred wisdom, past lives clinging and calling, old visions seen anew, deep wonders awoken, lessons learned. Anew, sacral. This is a sacral message. There is someone talking to you directly through the portal of 13, which is the death, right? Which is a big transformation. Someone is talking to you and is giving you the seed, a new seed to plant here, and that you are ready. Now I see the dots here, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Look at that, the 13 red dots here. And you see there is this portal in the egg, right? And it's really crazy. I mean, this is the cosmic egg talking to you directly. And so remember that the magical 13 is the mystical dew. Right now, the dew usually is written different, but it's nevertheless, it sounds like the dew, right? It's like, wow, it's really crazy. So then it becomes a 33 with the last judgment, and you recognize that here is a big message coming to you, right? A message that you are planting a new seed, right? And that to be life on earth, seated and eternal. And so remember that this is gonna now take, of course, an important place in this reading. Particularly, we're going now deep within. We're going really down into the dark, into the soul. And we begin, of course, on the position of the fool. That foolish moment, that foolish idea comes you, right? In the Visconti Sforza Tarot, you are going to the left, like Salvador Dali's deck. And to the left, it's like you taking that last step to go deep within, and you recognize here you find your home, here you find the eternal seed, right? The eternal circle that you're holding. You are the keeper of the secrets that are in every seed, and they can grow and blossom again. And so whatever seed you're planting right now, it's not a foolish idea. Really believe in it and really trust in it and really plant that seed, because it's coming to you right now, right? The 13. So someone has left and is talking to you. It's almost like there is a connection now, and you can see that you have also one leg up and you have a white horse. You don't have a black horse anymore. It's almost like you went through a huge transformation and you're done being the black horse. You want to be now a white horse, and Salvador Dali is bringing it to you. And now even the Visconti Sforza Tarot is saying, yeah, here it is. Here you are, this beautiful, magnificent person, and you going deeper and closer to where you belong to. And so recognize this very special moment, because this is the number 6, right? You're the 6th zodiac sign. This is your health. It's very important that you take care of your health and that you take care of what it is that you're thinking and putting also into your mind. Then on the position of the magician comes here the wind. And the wind is carrying the message. The number 63, which is then here the 6 with this 6, a 6-6 portal, and the 3, the 6 and the 3 is the 9, which is you, right? And so you can see the calculating here with all the numbers, right? I really love it because I'm a Virgo as well. And so for me, it's like the numbers really speak profoundly to me, and I love it, right? I'm a little bit like connected now with Luca Pacioli. Anyway, then the one of the magician adds here to the 63 a 64, and the 64 then becomes a 10. And so recognize that there's a new step that you are taking to go deeper within, which is today, right, your new moon. So you see the magic, you see that in the air, right, the blue behind here, because he's the fifth element. He has 4 elements on the table and he manifests through them. And then the 63 in the one element of the magician, he gets a 64. So he has the 4 elements and he has the self-love to create then a 10. And that 10 is like a new cycle that you are able to take. And it's almost like the wind is carrying that information forward. Then on the position of the high priestess comes here the Aries, the Emperor, and so here she's the 2, she's the intuition, and he's the 4. He's that I take action, right? He's the wand, and he's literally looking at this magic energy, and he's like, okay, I harness the wind, I take the information, and here comes a 6 as well. The 2 and the 4 become a 6. Again, right? And so you have, in a way, a 6 and a 6 in here, and then again the 6 here with the high priestess. So 3 times 6, right? And if I would calculate then here the 33 together, you have a 6 here as well, right? But I'm not doing that right now. So the Emperor is saying, well, I'm gonna take action into the human path, because that's where I can bring all the spiritual knowledge that I have gained by going and looking deep within myself and understanding that the wind carries all the informations and all I need to do is just simply listen. Then I have the power to transmit that information out into the world. And so you recognize now that there is also then with the one of the magician a 4 portal, right? It's like there is something deep in your heart that you want to achieve, that you want to understand, and so the wind is going to help you. The 9 here of this card is you, and so listen carefully to the whisper that the soul is bringing to you. Then on the position of the Empress comes the Fool. And so the Fool is standing behind the Aries energy, the Emperor, and you see that she, the Empress, is the 3. So there's a 3-4 energy. There is then the masculine and the feminine, and when we put them together, we begin a new journey, and the journey goes to the right. The journey goes out into the world. Foolish enough, you're like, okay, I want to know what this world has for me, even though this cat or this dog is literally pulling your pants down, and you think like, that's a foolish idea, but you give birth to that foolish idea. You give birth to yourself, right? And so here you're meeting yourself. I'm going to put the Emperor away for a moment. And so here you guys meet, right? You're going to see this person. You're going to be like, who is this foolish person telling me to go out again and be this magnificent being? I'm done. I want to go deep within, but you know, you don't recognize that this is you. You are meeting yourself. You are meeting yourself in every person that is coming face to face with you. And that's the magnificent teaching of all, is that we learn more and more to recognize that it's not that there are others, it's just all one. And so recognize that, right? And see that that foolish idea of you taking care of yourself and thus taking care of others, because you inspire others to heal themselves as well. Because if you have helped yourself and healed yourself, then others are inspired and be like, okay, well, if he has done it, then I will do it as well. Then on the position of the Hermit, right, in the position of the Sun, comes the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is Aries again. Now you have Aries as a major arcana and Aries as a court card. So have a look in my description below. I have listed the dates of all the court cards. If you have someone that is born in that time frame and is there for you and is working with you and is helping you with that wand to really like, okay, I'm gonna really go out there again. Yes, I think it's time for me, even though today is your new moon, you plant that seed, but then it's like, okay, now that seed wants to grow, wants to be lived, right, and wants to be seen. And so here you have the information that Aries is like, yes, just do it. Then on the position of the Caballero de Oros, right, this is you, comes here the Strength card, and this is Leo, and it's almost like Leo back then has told you in the month of Leo, next month Virgo's new moon is bringing you deep within, and so you find the strength to go deep within. You find the strength to see that only from deep within we can do the most craziest things, and you go deep within, right? Today it is the day where you go the deepest down into your subconscious, and it's gonna give you strength, it's gonna give you power, it's gonna give you those ideas that you then bring into fruition. Now the interesting thing is here we have the 1, right, the first zodiac sign, and 9 is a 10. And so it's very interesting. You have that 10 again that is saying, well, you have learned here on the position of the Magician that, yes, the wind is bringing you the information. The wind is like carrying all that towards you. And now you have, again, a 10. So you have a 10-10 portal. Now here, you're the 6th zodiac sign, and the number 8 is then the 14. The 14 is temperance, right? Remember that you always want to be in your center. You want to give and take equally. But then calculate together, you get the 5 senses, but also the Hierophant, the high priest, and the 5 senses are the windows to the outer and also to the inner portal. And so learn all the things that you can learn here deep within, because this is the deepest you can go towards yourself and find the true strength to continue your path. Then on the position of Hermit again, but now in the moon, right? Because we have sun and moon, we get the Ace of Pentacles, and that's the pentacle that you're holding here on the position of the Fool, right? The money, that the circle, the wholeness, the roundness, right? The circled energy of the money. And it's really interesting because here we can see now that you are giving literally birth to new money. New money is coming to you. You have the 1 and the 9, again a 10. So the 5 is framed with a 10-10 portal. And the 5 sometimes are those tests, right? Or are those difficulties. But you have a 10-10 portal framing you. There's a new opportunity for you to again make money. And the only way for you to understand it is by gaining your strength, finding your health, finding what is deep within you, and so you continue that path, right? And that's why you are learning now to actually give birth. That foolish idea that you had is now giving birth to more money, money that is brought to you by God, by a higher consciousness. It's a new idea, it's a new way of making money, but here it is. Then on the position of the moon, right? The moon that is actually now the new moon right now comes the 5. There is a closing door, there is a completion happening. And the 5, really interesting, is that moment that you have recognized here that true strength comes from deep within, right? By learning that you have the power deep within you, the strength that you got from Leo last time. And so here you have again a 5. So it's a 5-5 portal. And the 18 is a 9, and the 9 and the 5 is the 14, and again the 5 is left. So the 5 is here, and you can see there's a door opening, right? There's almost like this is the door, this is the vagina where the money is coming out. I mean, Salvador Dali is really, really cool the way he puts this information out there. But there's a door opening then again after it has been closed, right? In the dark you will see the light, and in the light you can actually then grow only as far out as Pisces, because Pisces is your opposite sign. That's when you're gonna have your full moon again. And so the door is slightly opening right after the new moon. Immediately, like a few hours later, the light again hits the moon, and we can see, right, the sliver of the moon, and it's that beautiful moment where we're like, oh my god, look how beautiful that looks. And we can really see, yeah, it's like it's round, and you can see here the moon also in the money. And so this is really powerful, right? So you're getting that door opening to your full moon again. Then on the position of the sun comes here the growth cycle of plants and the number 19. So there's a 1919 portal, and it's really interesting because then that's a 1010 portal, and you already had 2 times 10, right? So you have 4 times 10, and 4 times 10 is 40. The 4 again, the emperor, that is like, well, I'm gonna take action, I'm gonna go out there again, I'm gonna take the opportunity. As soon as this new moon is over, I'm gonna be like, I take the opportunity of this life and grow again, right? And that's where the light comes here in your brain, right? In your horns, in your inner eye, in your third eye, that little bit of light that you're getting here. Because, I mean, it's clear, right? We want to grow, we want to learn, we want to evolve. And so here comes this beautiful card to you. And then on the position of the world, what's speaking there to you? Here in Salvador Dali, we have, of course, the 3 graces that are attached to the world. And look, you get the 9 of Swords. And so the 9 of Swords is connected with the constellation Mars in Gemini. And Mars in Gemini is thinking way too much, right? But it's the 9, and you know how to overcome that. Now the 21 of the world is the 2 of the High Priestess, and the High Priestess had the Emperor, and the Emperor knows what to do with this thinking. Take action, right? Each time when you start thinking too much about something, take action. Then on the 1 of the Magician came the Wind, right? And here came also a 9. So there's a 9-9 portal, and the wind is carrying all those thoughts and ideas. And so you gotta focus yourself, right? You gotta really focus yourself. And so the 21 becomes a 3. On the 3 came the Fool. And the Fool is the one that says, oh, well, all these thoughts, well, I'm just going to toss them. I'm just going to still do what I have in my mind, right? Because the 9 and the 3 is a 12, and the 12 zodiac sign is Pisces is your opposite sign, and then it becomes a 3. And remember, on the 3 came the Fool, the Empress. The Empress gives birth, right? And it's really beautiful because you are recognizing then that the 9 and the 3 is the 12 is the 3 left, and so the 3 is here to give you the power to recognize that whatever is coming at you is good, that it's coming at you, but here you are actually walking away from this kind of thinking, from this kind of like energetic attachments that the world offers us because of duality. You are walking away into the soul path, right? And you are ready to say, well, I am not okay with any of this negativity, with all this thinking. I am moving on, right? I am going now deep within, and I want to know what is all this about, and learn and arrive at myself and know that I have this, right? That I have the Fool here that is facing me, and you recognize all of a sudden that that foolish idea starts deep down, and that's where you get the strength, right? Deep down, you know, okay, I have this idea and it's right now germinating, and I place it, and in 6 months, right, it's gonna grow, and it's gonna be then here in this world, even though the world sometimes is a terrible place, right? And so that's where you're going, but you are actually here, right? If I close the circle, because we're placing the cards to the left. And so recognize this moment. It's really important. You are learning, you are growing, and you're becoming stronger and wiser, and you recognize also that you have that circle in your hand, and you understand that everything is cyclical, that things come again and again and again, but also recognize that you have the power to make new money. You have the power to take action. That's that penis, right? That's like shooting out, straight out. Meanwhile, the feminine is circular, right? Because of the period, it's always like circular, and so there's this straight direction, but also the circular energy, and in that you find the infinite 8. But here in Salvador Dali, he created here an 11. So I need to actually correct the center. You have a 6-11 here. You don't have actually a 14 or then a 5. You actually have a portal here, and you have the 6, and the 6 is again the 33 that came here. The 6 is the hexagram. The 6 is that information that is coming, and that new place that you are creating, which is the 4 with the Emperor, right? So just recognize that something really powerful is talking here to you and wants to tell you, you finding the strength in your 11, because maybe you are born on the 11, right? Then you have a portal right here, and so you see that the 11 as the strength card, usually, that's why I made the mistake, usually this is the card number 8, but here Salvador Dali decided to make out of it the 11th card. And so there are again the different schools that created a change in the positionings of the cards. And I think you gotta now recognize, are you rather an 8 or are you an 11, right? And so you are able to make your own decision and find the strength in that, in making a decision for yourself. Wow. And that's why you are getting here this information, right? That you are this new seed, old visions seen anew, deep wonders awoken, lessons learned, right? Past lives clinging and calling, and to be life on earth, seeded and eternal. Plant your seed. Wow. So I wish you, of course, a beautiful celebration today on this new moon. And remember, right, it's really important that you recognize the fact that you have come up yourself as a court card, and that you're learning to understand the message for yourself, no matter how I interpreted the message that's coming through here. So I hope I see you in the next reading, because then the Earth continues its path around the Sun, and we see behind the Sun the constellation Libra. Now Libra is usually on the position 11, right? And so here it switched, but nevertheless the 11 is actually also the Justice card to Libra. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.